Hey Bear, should I say something controversial? Maybe something that'll help people think? Maybe it'll hurt them think. Anyways, so let's just move out to the metaphor right away. If you know the topography or the layout or the geography of this land, you know directly in front of me is a mountain called Thornhill Mountain. But you can't see it. Mist is in the way. Just like before us in life and behind us in life. I mean, we might have a view or an idea of what's going to be there, but we can't see it until we're there. So, the last year or so, I was presented with a theory. It's a good one, or one that I like or makes sense, and I don't think is all offensive. But when I do bring it up, I do ask it in a jagged way. And it's the explanation of this question, and that's why are white people white? Well, there's a working theory that has to do with dietary practices, eating habits, and cultural change that happened in Europe in the last 12 to 16,000 years, something like that. That just the fact that I said something more than 7,000 years is going to make people controversial, but whatever. Certain people, at least. So there was a shift in the European diet from animal to agriculture in their calorie intake. Now, animal foods are rich in vitamin D. Loaded. And vitamin D sounds very innocuous, not important, just part of a list of a bunch of vitamins. But it is really the vitamin that turns on everything. Like freaking everything in our body. And with that change, and the cloudy, misty nature of Europe, temperate rainforest, just like we are here, people needed more vitamin D. And they weren't getting in their diet, so they got it from the sun. And so the more successful members of this new agricultural community, most of them had less melanin in their skin. Yeah. And so compounded over generations, you get less and less melanin. The people that had the higher energy levels, their bodies were working better because they had vitamin D, because their bodies will produce it when exposed to the sun. And when the sun is abundant, like in agricultural communities around the equator, our sun still blocks the vitamin D with a lot of melanin because there's way too much sunlight. Not a super controversial theory if you're just thinking about it from the pure adaptation of diet and environment stuff. And then I like to dovetail things together that maybe other people don't think about applying together. And that is an old story, very old story, in the neighborhood of 5,000 to 6,000 years old kind of a story. And that is one of the first conflicts in human history. Brother against brother. Cain against Abel. Now, living in the presence of God and the knowledge of God, as their parents had been fully aware of what God was, physically, spiritually, everything. These people knew God. And they both presented an offering to God. And God saw Abel's and said it was fit. Abel was a herdsman. He kept animals. And he provided God with the first foal or baby of his flock. He didn't know he was going to have any more. He said, whatever I have, God, the first of it you may have. And God said, this is acceptable. Cain being someone with agriculture, planned for his next season. After he knew he had enough, he said, God, you can have the leftovers. I will take care of me. And this God said, this is unacceptable. I am enough. You are not to present me with less than complete faith. So we all know Cain slew Abel and then said, I'm not my brother's keeper. And so just thinking about this and God marking Cain, marking a cultural shift, Northern China, Northern Europe, places that shifted to agriculture over animal fats, animal proteins. Similar time, probably. I don't know. I haven't mapped that part yet. Yeah, it's just interesting how there might be evidence for that story if we're looking for it in a different way, rather than looking for a tattoo or some sort of jawbone or, something like that. Just a compounded sin over multiple generations of not trusting that God is enough. Anyways, sermon here. One day I'm going to come back and you're going to see this mountain here. But as I've been talking, the mist has gotten thicker, more cloudy, much like the past and the future. Still a beautiful life. Amen.